Warning, the following program was produced for traditional broadcast television. Over 12 minutes of commercials have been removed, but interruptions are still included. Thank you for watching.
If you're talking to somebody who might be new or somewhat new into the space of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, how would you survive a bear market?
If you've never invested before, just focus on Bitcoin. Don't chase 10 different coins, 20 different coins. Why are you investing in this asset class in the first place? If you're coming into Bitcoin for number go up, sit on it for 4 years and you'll see number go up. But understand that Bitcoin is freedom money and works whether it's at $100, $10,000, it doesn't matter. If I was to tell you, you can buy 2 iPhones for the price of 1, people would buy 6 of them from me. Get your Bitcoin on sale.
Government officials insist we will continue to keep you informed as this story unfolds.
Welcome to the Money Block with Matthew J. Moore, the Bitcoin-focused program that's waking the masses to the fiat money Ponzi scheme. Money is changing, and your freedom is at stake. So stick around and learn how to empower yourself for this new digital age. Now, here's your host, Matthew J. Moore.
And welcome, America. Welcome, world. You have tuned in at the right time, right place. That's right. We are syndicated coast to coast in America, and you're watching Biz TV. If you're not watching on Biz TV, you're probably watching online. And if you're watching online, I want you to be a part of this conversation today. So be sure to give us a like, share, subscribe, share this wonderful episode with the people that you know, friends, family, because today, man, we are going to be talking about something that if you are following the crypto markets, a lot of you guys might be scared. You might be saying, oh, bear market is finally here. Well, it probably is, but we have a wonderful guest today coming from all the way down under, if you catch my drift, and he is a professional broker, cryptocurrency broker, and he's got some good insights, maybe how to survive what is coming ahead. But before we dive into it with the nitty-gritty and the deep questions, I just want to bring him to stage. His name is Bisher Khudeira, and he's the COO of the cryptocurrency brokerage called Stormrake. I met him not too long ago, but Bisher, welcome to the show. Man, I want to start off our show here today with this one question, and that is, we are in a pivotal spot when it comes to the crypto markets, specifically Bitcoin as well. You guys offer a very unique perspective and angle when it comes to servicing clients with your services as a brokerage. But why is it so important to be preparing for the future in this space?
G'day, mate. Well, first of all, thank you for having me on. It's such a privilege to be here, streaming in from Melbourne, Australia, as we make our way into the great USA, the home of the free, the land of the brave. And why it's so pivotal to be in markets right now is that you don't get many opportunities like this in Bitcoin. It comes once every 4 years, pretty much. And so this is now my third bear market, second professionally. And I understand the volatility is quite concerning for a lot of individual investors out there right now who may be participating in Bitcoin when we were running up post President Trump's election victory, and are now experiencing a pretty severe correction. But there's something that I'd like to share with your listeners and the viewers, which is volatility is the price of admission to all financial markets, right? And we can look at gold, we can look at silver, we can look at stocks, we can look at oil more recently with all of the geopolitical conflict. Has been moving around like a small cap coin on a decentralized exchange, right? So we have to understand that all financial markets carry risk and carry volatility. It's just understanding that risk profile and understanding how it stacks within your overall investment goals. That's what we've found has allowed us to be successful as a firm, because we want to hold people's hand throughout this entire experience. We're not just a platform. As a broker, I get to chat with my clients and say, this is how you can take advantage of the volatility, whether it's through limit orders, dollar cost averaging, market orders. There's so many ways you can manage risk. You don't just have to buy at 120 and then sit in it and then go, okay, when's the next bull run going to happen? There's so much that you can do between that.
Yeah, well said. And we're going to dive more into some of your methods, your thought processes, and we're going to dive into this whole overall sentiment that's in the market right now. We got a lot to cover, a lot of ground to go through. So if you're watching this program, I want you to stay put, stay tuned in, because you won't regret it. Bisher's got some great thoughts and great advice. We'll be right back after this break. What does it mean to be physically, spiritually, and financially free? The right to life, liberty, property, and the pursuit of happiness, these were the ideas that made America. But what happens to these ideas when America's money becomes compromised? What do you do when the very thing that you're working for day after day is fundamentally designed to enslave you? Whether it was a conspiracy or not, you won't believe what is about to happen in this country. Arm yourself today with the truth and build your life on the foundations for liberty. Rediscover freedom in the 21st century and grab a copy of my Amazon best-selling book, Foundations for Liberty. For just $11.99, you can support this radio show by finding a copy on Amazon or by going to mattjmoore.com. Again, that's mattjmoore.com. Don't wait, because freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. You are tuned in to the Money Block. That's right. We are coast to coast on Biz TV. We want to welcome all you Bitcoin newbies, lovers, and experts. We got a little bit of something for all of you. So if you're new to this space, maybe you invested into Bitcoin not too long ago, maybe 6 months ago, and you might be thinking, oh my gosh, what have I done? Don't worry. This is just initiation. We're going to be covering how to survive this, what is perceived to be the new bear market, and we got the perfect guest to do it. But before I bring him back on the stage here to discuss the matters at hand, I just want to remind you guys that maybe sound money, cryptocurrency, the ideas of sovereignty, liberty, how does that all apply into this new digital age? Well, it all threads together nicely, and I do a great job explaining that in my book, my Amazon bestseller book, Foundations for Liberty. You're going to see a QR code that pops up right over there. Get your phone out, scan that QR code. It's my way of saying thank you. It is a free gift. It is a free digital download of my book, Foundations for Liberty. So go ahead and consume that, enjoy it, and hopefully you'll be educated. And let's dive back into it. We got on the line. We got our wonderful guest from Australia. His name is Bisher Khudeira, and he is the COO of a cryptocurrency brokerage called Stormrake, and they are doing some great things, helping a lot of people. And he's the perfect guest to have on as we kind of talk about this sentiment in the market right now. So, Bisher, welcome back. Like I said, we got a lot of ground to cover, but it seems that as we are in this new bear market, as a broker, what are some of the conversations that you're having right now with some of your clients and this overall sentiment? Is there anything specific that you're seeing in these conversations?
Yeah, I mean, we've got a pretty wide mix of investors, right? So we've been in operation for about 6 years. So I've got people who have bought with me in 2019, 2020, 2021, and then, of course, in the bear market of 2022, who have a very different portfolio profile compared to somebody who joined us in late 2024, 2025, right? And now we're navigating all of this fresh volatility in Q1 2026. So what we've been having with our clients is understanding first and foremost, what suits you best, right? Like if you just bought your first parcel of Bitcoin at over 100,000 US, for example, what strategies can you employ and deploy across your portfolio to navigate the volatility? You can dollar cost average, you can have some really low limit orders so that if you do get filled on that limit, so let's say at 55, 50,000, you bring your average acquisition price down by 50, 60%, meaning that if you bought at 110, but you buy another parcel at 60, bang, all of a sudden your now average acquisition price is closer to 85,000 US. So you don't have to wait for the market to double again to get yourself back to break even. So, and again, we focus a lot on not just trading Bitcoin on a price to price level, but why are you investing in this asset class in the first place? If you're coming into Bitcoin for number go up, then sit on it for 4 years and you'll see number go up, right? That's not a problem. But understand that Bitcoin is freedom money and works whether it's at $100, $10,000, 100,000 US, it doesn't matter. the Bitcoin network works and operates regardless of the price that it's trading at. And we're seeing difficulty adjustments coming down on Bitcoin mining. We're seeing the network operate exactly as it's intended. We had just hit 20 million Bitcoins mined. We've only got 1 million Bitcoin left to be mined from now until the year 2140, approximately. So for me, I love the fact that I get to pick up my Bitcoin at a discount, and that's what we're kind of conversing with our clients about. Get your Bitcoin on sale. If I was to tell you you can buy 2 iPhones for the price of 1, people would buy 6 of them from me, right? No problems. But when a financial asset has a 50% off discount and you can buy 2 for the price of 1 as to what price it used to be 6 months ago, people don't want to touch it. So we're educating our clients to lose the consumer mindset and to gain the investor mindset.
Yeah, and sometimes it does take some time to get there, and some new perspective. Are the conversations you're having with new clients versus your older clients different? Because I'm sure people who've kind of weathered the storm before have a different perspective, or do you feel like the overall approach after working with you guys, having conversation and the education has pretty leveled people's expectations?
Yeah, it's very level across the entire client book. We are very Bitcoin focused, so we have a couple of altcoins that we focus on right now, which is Ethereum, Solana, and Hyperliquid. We've been very bullish on that layer 1 complex for probably the last couple of years. Hyperliquid has now been pricing commodity assets such as oil and gold and silver over the weekend, where there was a lot of geopolitical turmoil, and then a lot of TradFi guys are starting to notice this fantastic asset, this fantastic technology, because of the fact that they can hedge and manage their risks in a market that doesn't close. So that's something that's really cool. So for us, a lot of our clients have a very similar portfolio because they come to us to make sure that they're in the right positions. And for me, Bitcoin is, as base money, is the primary asset that we put our clients into. And then we add some risk in when it makes sense to do so, but only at certain price points. So, whilst the new investor may come to us and have expectations of a 10x tomorrow, we bring them in, we nurture them, we educate them, and then we take them through what is realistic within this space. Because as long as you come to us and I'm beating inflation for you and preserving your purchasing power, I'm doing my job as your broker. But we have to bring those expectations into heel, because sometimes people see the cryptocurrency success story, or a teen buys Bitcoin, becomes millionaire, right? Yeah. They like those stories, which is understandable, but we have to do it in a way which is sustainable, without leverage, unencumbered, and not chasing the next hype, or not chasing the next moon bag, but actually investing in quality projects that make sense for your portfolio.
Yeah, and I think this next question I have for you, it's a 2-part question, which is you're a veteran in the space as well, and you've seen a thing or two, and it's like we've got war tensions right now in different parts of the world. America is definitely part of that, but then you have different monetary policies taking place. It seems that there is a level of uncertainty, and surprisingly, Bitcoin has gone up during this conflict, and that might be because people are trying to leave Dubai and they're buying a bunch of Bitcoin. I don't know, but overall, how have you seen the cycles change throughout the years? Do you feel like this bear market is any different than maybe some of the other ones you've experienced?
Absolutely, this cycle is different. I mean, we had an all-time high pre-halving. Right, we hit an all-time high in March of 2024 when the halving happened in April. Right, so we had peaked in prior to the halving. So usually, for those who are new to the game, there's a Bitcoin halving that reduces the amount of new coins that are mined on every block, and that reduces by half approximately every 4 years. Right. Now, this is known as the halving event. Historically speaking, the halving event occurs, then the supply dynamics change, and then there's a new all-time high, right? So that's generally how it's gone. But this cycle has been anything but the same as previous ones. Now, obviously, it's had very similar moves in terms of new all-time highs, running 2x compared to previous cycle high, and then now having this correction pretty much around the same time as when we've experienced previous corrections. So there has been some similarities, but to say it's like for like, it's quite different. We've got ETFs now, we've got institutions coming on board. The biggest cycle difference is that we've seen a massive on-ramping and ownership change in the institutions, in corporates, in ETFs, and a massive sell-off in individual holders of Bitcoin, which for me is a bit disheartening. I don't want to see Bitcoin being hoarded by the same people that have put us into this fiat Ponzi mess in the first place. I want to see everyday hardworking Aussies and Americans holding their Bitcoin in self-custody, using myself preferably as their dedicated on-ramp because you get a personalized service. And then on top of that, that all of those supply dynamics being changed and having massive institutions come into place, I don't think we're going to see an 80% correction or 70% correction, which is what we've seen historically. I think that we've seen a really hot war conflict kick off more recently, and those geopolitical turmoils did initially push Bitcoin towards 63,000. We're now trading at 70,000. People would have anticipated that it trades lower. But if you go back to the last time a conflict kicked off, which was Russia-Ukraine in 2022, initially it did push Bitcoin down, but then the 90 days after, it was up about 25% after that initial sell-off, right? And if history repeats itself, then we might end up in the mid-80s. So I've been saying to people, don't trade headlines, don't follow headlines, because if you listen to the mainstream media, and the great thing is that you're not listening to mainstream media when you're tuning into the Money Block.
That's true.
Right? You've got the Matthew Moore, you got the man himself, right? You're getting proper education and proper information. And so the mainstream media will have you chasing headlines and buying silver at $120 and oil at $120 and then buying Bitcoin at 126,000. Whereas if you trade and invest based off understanding what this market is giving us, which is a significant discount, you can take advantage of it. So yes, the cycle has been different, and I think that we have to navigate it based off whatever's happening day to day with the relevant information, and not try to apply old heuristics to a new market.
Yeah, and unfortunately, we do have to run to break here. But when we come back, I want to dive more into how to survive this bear market. But also, I want to dive into Stormrake. Yeah, I think what you guys are offering is very unique for our listeners and viewers. But we'll be right back after this break. Stay tuned. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. You are here watching the Money Block. We are coast to coast on Biz TV, radio, TV, and heck, we're even online as well. So if you're watching online, be sure to give us a like, share, subscribe, comment, because I want you to be a part of the conversation. I want to know what you think about the topic today and what our guest has to say. I think you're going to be surprised about some of the services and the way he approaches the market in general, the company that he's with. It's really quite cool. But before I bring him back on, I do want to just let you guys know again that if you're just now tuning in and it's your first time seeing the show, well, I have a free gift for you. It is a free digital download of my Amazon bestseller called Foundations for Liberty, and it'll give you the ideas, principles that will help you navigate maybe this coming digital age that we live in and that we're walking into. What's it mean to be free monetarily, but free personally, spiritually, all around? It's a great read. So be sure to scan that QR code, download that book. You'll enjoy it. I promise it. You won't regret it. All right. Well, let's pick up the conversation here. On the line, we've got Bisher Khudeira. He's the COO of a cryptocurrency brokerage down in Australia. And I will kind of tease this. They are going to be opening up a U.S. branch here. And another reason why I'm having him on. But the company's called Stormrake. And Bisher, I want to pick up our conversation here before we dive into your brokerage and the details around how you guys operate. Just give us any final, a large overview perspective and strategy. If you're talking to somebody who might be new or somewhat new into the space of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, they're just now learning the terms and whatnot. How do they survive a bear market, in your opinion? It's not necessarily financial advice, but if it was you, how would you survive a bear market?
I mean, it depends. If you've never invested before, just focus on Bitcoin, right? My advice to new entrants into the market is don't chase 10 different coins, 20 different coins. There's an infinite supply of coins, right? And the thing that you need to focus on is BTC and understand why it's money, right? So my advice to clients is you can understand it in terms of how it fits into your portfolio, how it fits in with your overall, you might have stock market investments, you may have fixed income investments, you may have a business, who knows, right? But understand how Bitcoin operates as a monetary protocol first and foremost, and understand why Bitcoin as money makes the most sense. We've had many different forms of money over civilization. We used to trade salt, which is why the phrase "worth their salt" comes from, because that's how we used to earn a salary. Then you've got gold, you've got silver. Then we had gold and silver certificates because it was too hard to lug it around. And then we've now had fiat currency since 1971, which is essentially government-approved currencies backed by nothing. And so this is why it's so important to understand where Bitcoin fits in, not as just an investment, not just as another asset class that you can add to your portfolio, which you can certainly do with us, but understand why it makes sense as a monetary asset and how it can genuinely revolutionize the way we trade with each other peer to peer. And I love the fact that Matt's out in the States, me and him, we can do business together, and I can settle it instantly right here from the comfort of Melbourne, Australia, which is a 16-hour flight away. There's a big ocean between us. I can trade with him. We can transact together. I can buy his book in Bitcoin, peer to peer, no problems. And that's what I focus on for my new investors, is understand how to use it as a monetary asset, understand how to use Bitcoin, and then we can build your overall crypto portfolio over time.
So Bisher, let's dive into Stormrake here. So in the digital asset space, specifically in America, we do have a ton of exchanges, and there's exchanges all around the world. But what you guys do is a little bit different, because I think a lot of our viewers are, they're maybe a little bit on the older side, and they might be new to this space, and they might be kind of timid to mess with kind of the technical side of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. So you guys as a broker, you kind of, I would, and I don't know if this is the right way to say it, but hold some hands along the way. But are you guys also considered kind of like an OTC desk? Explain to the viewers how you guys operate.
Yeah, I mean, as a brokerage, we actually use exchanges and OTC desks ourselves, right? OTC meaning over the counter, which is meaning that we're not trading with an order book. So when you go into an exchange like Coinbase, for example, you're facing an order book, which is against other traders on their platform, right? And as long as somebody's on the other side of that, offer, or the other side of that bid, you can buy or sell pretty easily, right? And you just see the button buy, you see the button sell, bink, done, right? But you're not sure if you're getting the best price. And for us, as a broker, not only do we hold your hand and give you a personalized service, but we're able to give you a much better price than what you could get on a traditional exchange, because we ourselves are facing 20 different venues. We are facing 5 different OTC desks. This allows us to aggregate across different venues and find whichever venue is providing us the best price, depending on whether you're a buyer or seller. They're 2 different things. But if you're a buyer, I'm going to, my system and my brokers will scan the market for you, instantly find the best price, and fill your order regardless of size. And what you get is known as fixed price execution. What that means is that you're not facing slippage. So when you're on an exchange and you see, okay, one Bitcoin is 68,000 USD, by the time you hit buy, your fill price is 68,900, right? Because there wasn't that much, because you might have had 50,000 US you wanted to deploy. There wasn't $50,000 at that level to fill your order in full. Whereas with us, we can actually fill it across many different venues to get you the one price. But it's a really nice service for people who are familiar with having a stockbroker. You might have a Charles Schwab account, you may have an E-Trade account, you might have a TD Ameritrade account. We provide a very similar service where you give us a call, send us an email. We do have a platform where you can buy and sell yourself if you wish, and you can see the quotes streaming in real time. And then you can just sit by and you'll receive your Bitcoin and you can withdraw to cold storage. But for us, you can also have that market professional on the other side of the line, and you can have the quote in front of you. You can be looking to buy at that time. But we can also help you with limit orders, we can help you with dollar cost averaging, and we can build a strategy that makes sense for you. So for us, it's just about making sure that our investors get on-ramped in the best way possible and get regular guidance along the way, rather than just giving you another platform where you can just press buttons all day long. We want to be a part of your investment journey.
Yeah, I think customer service is the theme that I keep feeling and hearing with you guys. And if you go to Coinbase or some other exchange, good luck with your customer service experience. At least that's been my experience here. But man, we've only got about a minute before we have to go to break. Just if people are curious, and we're going to go deeper into the details here, but if they want to learn more about your guys' operation, where would they go?
Stormrake.com/USA. So we're coming to the United States. So Stormrake.com/USA is the best way to do it.
I love it. Well, in fact, I was on there and I put, it was like, if you're in the U.S. and you're interested, I filled out the information. I'm excited to start using you guys and just kind of experience it firsthand myself because I do think that, the ethos of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, yeah, there's this whole independence idea, but a lot of people have a giant learning curve. And so the services, the methods, and even the pricing, the benefits of the pricing that you guys offer, I find very unique and exciting. So I'm sure you hear that quite a bit.
Absolutely. And at the end of the day, we want to give people a reliable entry point into the market. And I'm all about freedom. You can definitely self-custody with Stormrake, but let's make sure that your purchasing process is done properly and not done in a flippant manner.
Yep. And we're going to go into that after we come back from break. So I need you guys to stay tuned, stay put, because we're going to have more good conversation with our guest, Bisher. Stormrake, it's coming to the United States. I'm excited and hope you guys are too. We'll be right back after this break. We'll see you in a minute. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is round 4, segment 4 of the Money Block. And man, we've been having a great show, great conversation. I've been loving our guest today, coming from down under in Australia. And we've been talking about how to survive the bear market, the overall sentiment that we're experiencing right now in the markets, but also what's it like to use a broker, a cryptocurrency broker. And that's the company. He works for a company called Stormrake. And we'll bring him here on in just a second to continue this conversation and the overall experience of what it's like to use a cryptocurrency broker versus just maybe say doing it on your own. But just so you know, this whole journey is about education. Whether it's about learning about where money comes from, what is money, the policy side of things, the philosophical side of things. Well, I'm going to help you on that. In fact, you're going to see a QR code. It's going to pop up right over there. It's a free gift. It's a digital download of my Amazon bestseller book, Foundations for Liberty. Hopefully, it'll help you in your journey to, what I like to call monetary sovereignty. So just download it and enjoy it. But let's go ahead and pick up the conversation here. Like I said, we've got the COO of a cryptocurrency brokerage called Stormrake. His name is Bisher Khudeira. And Bisher, as we're coming back from break here, so let's continue the conversation about Stormrake. I want you to kind of maybe give us a quick step-by-step of what it's like to hire a broker like you guys.
Yeah, I mean, what's really good is that once you open the account, which the whole process is free, there's no cost until you choose to transact and you invest with us. We do apply a transaction fee, which is 2%. That rate will be 2.5 though. So for my beloved Americans, please sign up before June 30th. There's no cost to opening an account with us. I'd encourage you to open that account with us, that you have the whole range of services available to you, and you'll lock in and be grandfathered in at 2%, because our rate as of July 1 will be 2.5, because we're having to increase our rates pretty shortly, such as the cost of doing business in a global financial market, which is as volatile as what we're doing with right now. But the reason why you'd want to use our services is that we can hold your hand through it. We can help you build a portfolio. We can make you ensure you avoid the common mistakes that a lot of beginner investors do, whether it be over leveraging or chasing alts, or building a portfolio that is not congruent with your overall investment goals within the cryptocurrency market. And we actually suck out all of the fear and greed. So we don't get you to just like FOMO buy into the top, and we don't get you to panic sell at the bottom. You work with us to help you build a portfolio that can be with you for generations, hopefully something that your children or your grandchildren can inherit one day, and treat it like you would your own stock brokering account. Because if you try to day trade Apple and Microsoft and Google and Nvidia, these fantastic American companies that have created millions upon millions of dollars worth of wealth for everyday Americans, if you don't apply the same investment principle with your Bitcoin and digital asset portfolio, you're going to be day trading, you're going to get chopped up, you're going to lose money on fees, you're going to lose money on rotations. We want to focus on the value and help you build a portfolio that can be with you for decades. And, obviously, capital growth is important, especially in a market where we're seeing rampant inflation, not just in America. Here in my own home in Australia, we've got rampant inflation. You got to have an investment portfolio that's beating inflation, not just keeping up with, which is, what the stock market index has done and what property investors have done. They've kept up with inflation. I'm talking about really beating the living daylights out of inflation. And the best way to do that is have a sound money portfolio built upon Bitcoin, and then exploring some other digital assets to really supercharge that risk profile, but also to give us that really positive rate of return, and having that longer time preference. So that way, when we're building our portfolio, it's not something that we're just trying to do as here today, gone tomorrow. We want to be with you for, as long as possible, building that wealth over time.
Well said. Well said. I mean, when you look around the world, all these fiat currencies are losing value. Some are just losing them faster than others. And in my opinion, it might as well be toilet paper. All of them. Doesn't matter whether it's the dollar or the euro or whatever. But let's dive into this. Okay, I'm somebody who's been in the space since early 2017. I'm more experienced in it, and I'm very comfortable with digital assets. So for an investor like me, I have a two-part question. What are the benefits of using a brokerage like you guys, if it's somebody like me? I mean, you did catch my ear when you were talking about the competitive prices, because you guys have this ability to get things at the best price. But when it comes to custody solutions and tax compliance, is there any of that fall into the picture of what you guys offer?
Absolutely. I mean, first and foremost, somebody like yourself who's an industry veteran and been in the space for nearly 10 years, similar to my own journey, I would still be able to be of service to you, because I would say, and I call it the Stormrake Challenge, which is you give me $10,000 and you go to your exchange of choice and see who gives you more Bitcoin for your transaction, right? And I'm very competitive, right? Because for me, I'm aggregating across a number of different venues. I've got super deep liquidity. I've got fixed price execution. You're not going to get any slippage when you're trading with me. The price that I show you is the price that you'll get filled on, right? And that's something that I can stand by every single day. And that's why I've got the Stormrake Challenge. Go to your venue of choice, right? And again, it's not to be, aggressive or anything like that. It's just like, I want to be the best broker for you. I want to get you maximum Satoshis per purchase, right? And so if you come to me and I give you more Bitcoin per transaction, then that's it. That's all you need. Whether I charge you 2%, 2.5%, that doesn't matter. What matters is how many units do you walk away with when you're buying. And then let's say you need to sell down a portion of your Bitcoin for whatever purpose. You want some fiat dollars. Maybe you're putting in a pool or renovating or whatever, right? You sell down the Bitcoin. It's about how many American dollars are you getting for your Bitcoin sale, right? And so that's where I come in, and I'm super competitive. So for anybody, whether they're just getting started and they need a real handheld experience, or a veteran like yourself who's been in the game for 10 years, you are just interested in maximizing your Bitcoin purchases, you're a perfect client for us as well. In terms of custody solutions, you can hold it with us. It's all insured. It's all regulated. We're registered with the SEC as a money services business. So for us, it's about being able to give you access reliably and in a compliant manner. And then all of your financial records, transaction records, sit on the platform for you to download. And then you can share that with your tax advisor or your accountant or tax specialist, because that's not my domain. Do not ask me to be that for you, because it is not my game, right? And then you can just download the report, and that remains private and secure at all times. So that way, we're not disclosing your records to third parties or any other institution. We're keeping it with us, and so that way, when you download it, you can then share it with your tax accountant and then put in your tax claim. Man, and that's how we operate.
I had a whole bunch of questions I could go if I go down that road. But for the sake of time, I won't. But we'll definitely have to have you back on to talk more about some of this stuff. But let's talk about this. So I love the concept that you guys are bringing to the table. Why is it that it seems that the cryptocurrency brokerage model is more popular in places like Australia than they are, let's say, in the United States? You guys are coming to the United States. You're setting up a United States office. So talk to me about that. Why is there a discrepancy there?
I mean, it's probably got to do with the fact that in Australia, it's really hard to get funds into crypto. The Australian banks have been super hostile towards exchanges and brokers the like, and it's just really tough to get on-ramped into the space. Whereas with America, you guys have got so many options. You're spoiled for choice, which is a great thing to have. It's a very competitive market, which is great to see. And your banks under President Donald Trump haven't been aggressive and been stopping people from investing into Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. In fact, your banks are offering Bitcoin deposits. So you open up your Morgan Stanley or JP Morgan account and you're being able to deposit Bitcoin and Ethereum as collateral assets, which is crazy to see, right? That's so far behind with how Australia is. And so the reason why I think that we've got a lot of success in Australia, and I believe the Americans will benefit from this as well, is that we'll help you navigate the banks. We'll make sure your portfolio is built properly. But the success here is probably because Aussie banks are notoriously difficult to deal with. And then having somebody on the other end of the line to help you maneuver your fiat funds into Bitcoin is probably a more needed service because the Aussies are really struggling. But I know that the Americans, they understand freedom, sovereignty, and liberty better than anybody else on the planet. So that's why I want to go there as well, because our service is built for freedom-loving individuals. Us Aussies, we've got a bit of tall poppy syndrome. So, if you're a big, brash personality, you're not really loved. Whereas I believe the Americans, they understand value, they understand finance better than the everyday investor here in Australia. And that's why I want to go to America and serve you guys as best as I can, is to give Americans a genuine, handheld service and get them the most bang for their buck when they're going in and investing into these markets.
And one more time for those who are just now tuning in, we got 40 seconds before we have to go to break. Where can they learn more?
Stormrake.com/USA. Drop in and lock in that 2% rate and register your interest. And you can also book a chat and have a chat with myself or one of my brokers prior to even opening an account. So Stormrake.com/USA.
I love it. Well, when we come back from break, we're going to put a nice little bow on this interview and maybe answer a couple more questions. But man, Bisher, I'm enjoying this so far. And if you guys are watching this program and you're thinking about getting involved, you might check out Stormrake. I think I would recommend it. So, but we're gonna, like I said, jump to break. But we'll be right back. Stay put, stay tuned, and we'll finish this off strong. We'll see you guys in just a second. AI is here, money is changing, but freedom has never been more important. I'm Matthew J. Moore, the Money Block host on Biz TV, Amazon bestseller, and Bitcoin policy advisor. Book my up to 60-minute talk, Redefining Wealth and Freedom God's Way. I'll teach your church, business, or civic group how to secure money, freedom, and faith in the digital age. This is urgent, so I'm slashing my fee from $1,000 to $500. Cover my travel, and I'm there. Scan the QR code now. Spots are filling fast. What does it mean to be physically, spiritually, and financially free? The right to life, liberty, property, and the pursuit of happiness, these were the ideas that made America. But what happens to these ideas when America's money becomes compromised? What do you do when the very thing that you're working for day after day is fundamentally designed to enslave you? Whether it was a conspiracy or not, you won't believe what is about to happen in this country. Arm yourself today with the truth and build your life on the foundations for liberty. Rediscover freedom in the 21st century and grab a copy of my Amazon best-selling book, Foundations for Liberty. For just $11.99, you can support this radio show by finding a copy on Amazon or by going to mattjmoore.com. Again, that's mattjmoore.com. Don't wait, because freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You've tuned in at the right time, right place. This is the Money Block, syndicated coast to coast on Biz TV. And man, we've had quite the conversation today with our wonderful guest. He's with a company. It's a cryptocurrency brokerage from down under, Stormrake, and they are opening up a U.S. office. And his name is Bisher Khudeira, and he is the COO of this company. And so, Bisher, I want to dive into this a little bit. For those who are tuning in, just real quick, you guys are going to be opening up a cryptocurrency brokerage firm here in the United States, specifically in Dallas. And what's the timetable on that again?
We're opening up at the end of April. So April 28th is our scheduled launch date. And I couldn't be more excited to break bread with Americans and do business with Americans, because we're lining it up with the Bitcoin conference. So I'll be first in Las Vegas and then mosey on over to Dallas to crack open the office and cut the ribbon.
Well, and as you guys integrate into your operation here in the States, is there any differences in your how you're going to integrate with American customers? Are like older American customers that were using your services, are they going to be migrated over to the U.S. office? How does that work?
Yeah. Every one of our clients will have a dedicated American broker that will be servicing them. So you're going to get the same level of service whether you're in Australia, right in the heart of my hometown, which is Melbourne, or you're in West Coast or East Coast America. You're still going to get the same level of service because you're going to have somebody based in America taking the phone call. You're going to hear an American on the phone, and you're going to be dealing with us. Now, of course, if you want to get a nice bit of Aussie twang on the other end of the line, you can speak to one of the Aussie brokers as well. But the plan is that you will have a dedicated service based in your own country to make sure that you get exceptional on-ramping, exceptional off-ramping, dedicated custodial services, whether you're moving towards self-custody or holding it with us. We want to give you that end-to-end experience. So for somebody who comes to us, signs up, opens their account, they're going to have a homegrown local service delivered to them, just with a bit of an Aussie flavor to it. That's all.
Okay. And so for those who are curious, they might be watching this and they're going, I like this idea, but what's the catch? How much do I have to spend first to open up an account with you guys? So like, are there minimums?
Yeah, well, first of all, it's free to open an account. And you can consult with myself prior to opening an account as well. So book yourself a consultation and have a chat. All of that is complimentary. There is a transaction minimum of $2,000 US per trade. Because we're a full end-to-end service, we do have to have that bit more of a higher premium. But again, you can have our consultations and our support for free. And then the transaction cost is 2%. Especially if you open up your account prior to July 1, because we're changing the rates to 2.5% globally, not just for Americans, but across the globe, we're going towards 2.5%. But I believe in fair and honest business. Currently, my clients here in Australia are on 2%, and in terms of their brokerage rate, and we're grandfathering them in. I want to offer our American investors the exact same ability to get grandfathered in as well. Hence why we're having that window until July 1 to get people on-ramp that way. And so for us, it's a really transparent service because you know what you're paying me prior to even sending me a single dollar. You know what the cost of the transaction will be. So you send over $10,000, you're paying me $200 for the trade, and you're going to walk away with $9,800 worth of Bitcoin at the sharpest price possible at the time of the order request. And then that's it. And we're helping you with the whole service the whole way through. And you're going to be dealing with somebody in America, you're dealing with somebody out of our Dallas office. You can speak to myself. The entire executive team here is very hands-on into the business. I'm one of the business owners amongst three of my other business partners. We own and manage the business ourselves. So for me, very high standards of client services and customer service is super important to me, because I don't want people to come into Bitcoin, experience a subpar service, and then never come back again, right? Or, get spooked by the volatility and not be aware of what they're signing up for. And then when the market corrects or has a bit of a pullback, they're no longer in it. So for me, it's about getting people the exceptional level of service, great quality price point, and make sure that they understand the investment that they're heading into, so that way they're a client for life and they end up trading with us again and again and again. So that's what I want.
Okay, so with the dollar cost averaging approach, I do that regularly. My method has been $30-$50 a day. So it's like every day I'm making a purchase. So, but some people do weekly, some people do it bi-weekly. How does that work with like the $2,000 minimum? Do you have to do $2,000 at all times, or how does the dollar cost averaging perspective work on that?
Yeah, so it is $2,000. So what we find is that if it's a monthly purchase, you can do that as well, and then we can get you going through that. Our service is perfect for somebody who has a stock portfolio, has a property portfolio, maybe a couple of businesses that they're managing, and the last thing that they want to deal with is a digital asset portfolio, but they know that they need to get that exposure. They know that they need to get their Bitcoin on there, because it would be silly not to. You can't have JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, BlackRock, and the likes of Michael Saylor all scooping up the Bitcoin. You should have a slice of it as well. So we're perfect for people who want to be able to deploy, pretty serious capital, maybe as a one-off lump sum purchase or on an ongoing basis. But 2K, you might have, your a bit of your monthly salary going towards your Bitcoin. So DCA is fully supported. It's just at that $2,000 level. We found that we've had people who have sold investment properties here in Australia come in, they buy $500,000, $1 million worth of Bitcoin with us, no problem. So for folk who are looking to deploy capital and want to have that proper handheld service to make sure that it's deployed properly, there's no slippage, there's, you know who you're dealing with, you've got a face to the voice, you can actually walk into our office, book an appointment, and actually deal with somebody who's processing a pretty significant sum of money for you. That's a meaningful investment. You get to do that with us. And then of course, self-custody. So you can use a charming individual like myself, buy yourself $1 million, $2 million worth of Bitcoin, and then move it into your own cold storage. And we would be more than happy to support that. But at least when you go from fiat to Bitcoin, you're doing so professionally and properly, and you're doing it with an outfit that knows how to do it, and because we do it on a day-to-day basis.
And, again, I think it's a solution that's going to be very important for those who like that white glove service, that hand holding. But again, just real quick, where can people find out more?
Stormrake.com/USA. You can register your interest and to open an account, or you can book a consultation to have a chat prior to doing so.
All right. And we're coming up towards the end of the show. Do you have any last final words or thoughts?
My only final thoughts is USA, USA, USA. I can't wait, man. Like, I'm super hyped to just go in and access and service the great nation of America. So yeah, I'm excited, mate. I really can't wait.
You definitely after our hearts here, and I like the vibe you guys give. It's a lot of fun. So Bisher, I want to thank you for coming on the show today. It's been a fun conversation, an enlightening conversation, and I think brokerages, well, they're needed, and I'm glad you guys are coming to Dallas. So we'll see you guys same time, same place. This is all we have for now. Adios.
The opinions and suggestions expressed on this program are solely those of the participants and are not necessarily endorsed by program sponsors or any station, media company, or platform broadcasting this program. This program is a product of More Media, LLC. The information in this broadcast is not intended as investment, tax, or financial advice. Matthew Moore is not a licensed investment advisor and speaks solely from his experience and opinions. All information in this broadcast is for entertainment or educational purposes only. Matthew Moore, More Media, LLC, and the company or platform broadcasting this program is not responsible for the success or failure of any person's investment decisions or purchases. Matthew Moore, More Media, LLC, and the company or platform broadcasting this program makes no and expressly disclaims all representations, warranties, and guarantees with respect to this broadcast and its sponsors. Investing in any market is inherently risky and can be financially dangerous. Invest at your own risk.